This podcast discusses themes of suicide and mental distress.
What can you say about Stan Walker? He's a singer, he's a songwriter, and he's a survivor.
I went from being so successful and having everything to having literally not even $1 in my account, and I've lost everything.
Stan became a megastar at such a young age, but there was so much going on behind the scenes.
They didn't want my culture, they didn't want my personality, they didn't want my style. I was almost like getting pumped out, and I wasn't allowed to say no.
He's been through so much: abuse, cancer, fame, and anxiety.
And my heart started pounding, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And I was like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. And I was like, and I couldn't breathe. And I was like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, because I thought that the devil was killing me.
Like me, you probably think that you know Stan Walker. You've been watching him and listening to him for 20 years, but this conversation will give you a new perspective.
The reclamation of my culture, of my whakapapa, of my reo, it has played the hugest part.
I remember interviewing you in a shopping mall 15 years ago and thinking this guy is living the dream. What was the reality?
Honestly, especially in the younger days, it was the dream, and I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I didn't understand. I thought, I was just going to sing, but I didn't realize there was going to be a lot of kind of new trauma waiting for me, new challenges that I just had never ever I couldn't even fathom or even comprehend what I was getting. I just think the industry, the cost of fame, people being able to control who you are, what they see of you. The one thing that belonged to me and that was only mine and that I could just keep for myself and was my saving grace was my voice, was singing. And then it became somebody else's. It became the people's, and it became the labels, and they basically wanted my voice but didn't want anything else. They didn't want my mind, they didn't want my culture, they didn't want my personality, they didn't want my style, they didn't want my hair, and they didn't want my heritage. So I didn't know that I was getting myself into that.
So you had no idea that you were giving all of that up when you accepted a life in the spotlight?
Yeah, especially at that time. Times have changed now. But this was, 16 years ago, and I entered in so green and fresh and zealous.
Did you fight for yourself?
Always. I always fought for myself. At that time, in the industry standard, to my own detriment, because then I would get shelved and certain songs wouldn't come out. And I didn't know this whole power thing because I was oblivious to it. I came from a whole different life, and I'd come out of a life of control as well.
Yeah.
Control at home from my dad and from my mum, and the way that I wasn't allowed to do anything. I was controlled. So control wasn't something new to me. It was just weird that this was happening again.
How did anxiety show up in your life?
Honestly, I remember the first time that I felt anxiety, because I didn't know what that word was. And even after I felt it, I thought I was getting attacked by the devil. Honest to God, I really thought so. I was in my apartment in Maroubra in Australia, in Sydney. My heart started pounding, and there was just a lot that was happening. I was exhausted. I was flying every day. I flew every day for 8 months.
Wow.
I flew every single day, and it was either to record, to interview, or to do a show every day for 8 months. And I remember being in my apartment, and my heart started pounding, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And I was like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. And I was like, and I couldn't breathe. And I was like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, because I thought that the devil was killing me. And I freaked out, and I didn't know what to do. So I ran, I was in my apartment underneath, there was a little mall. You could go right down. And so I went down to the mall just to be in front of people so that I wasn't by myself. And I freaked out, and it took me probably maybe a good 2 years after that to realize what that was. Because even when people would say I was like, oh, where were you yesterday? Oh, I had to take a day off, I had anxiety. And I would laugh because I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand it. And I just thought weak, because those words weren't used. We had to shut up, my whole upbringing, and it still played within me. Even still now, I still have to shut myself, to kind of shut that hardness up. even with my kids, I'm like, no, don't do that, Stan. They're not the same as you. We're breaking the cycles.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it took me ages to accept that just in general, and then accept that I was going through that and that it was a real thing.
So where was that anxiety coming from?
I think just the pressure of me having to get up every day and doing all these things and showing up. And I had like, it didn't matter if I was sick or somebody died or what I was going through, I had to show up and be Stan. Had to be Stan Walker for the people, had to be Stan Walker on the plane, had to get off that plane, had no voice, and I'd had to sing. I was almost like getting pumped out, and I wasn't allowed to say no. And I was so lonely because I came from like such a huge family unit and friends to just traveling on my own and traveling with my manager, and I just had nobody.
What does anxiety feel like in your mind and in your body?
Like ultimately overwhelming, like overwhelmed, flustered, can't think, sometimes can't breathe, can't move, can't function, just can't even do the bare minimum to like operate, just in general, like stringing a sentence or showing up or even having to text back. Like texting back when I'm in that state, it's like the most impossible thing to do. And it's hard to explain that, but other people who have anxiety understand that. So it's like, and I can't choose when it's going to happen or when it's not going to happen or how long it's going to go for. But like, yeah, messaging back is like hard. It feels like impossible. It feels like I can't even move.
Do you think people will be surprised to hear this, given what they think they know of you?
I don't know. I feel like I've shared so much of my life. I've definitely pulled back over the years. I've definitely become a lot more private because I feel like I'm a introvert, extrovert. Like when I'm on stage, if you know me, I'm loud as hell. You can't shut me up. I'm yappa yappa. But if you don't know me, I'm in the corner. If I go to an event, I'm in the corner because just the anxiety of just being able to like talk to people. I'm not a mingler. I don't mingle. I don't know. I think I know how to do the small talk. I hate it.
So how do you protect your energy, given that you're
I don't go
giving
nowhere.
so much?
I don't go nowhere. I surround myself with the people who know me, that I can be myself. But the thing is, when I'm doing my mahi and I have to show up as Stan Walker, I show up
Is Stan Walker a different person to Stan Walker?
fully. Well, it's the same person, but this is the person that's going to serve. Stan Walker's the person that goes to serve. At home, I don't talk, I don't sing, I don't talk about anything that happens in the studio or on stage. Like I'm the most normal, average person at home. I just do my kids. Me and my wife, we just talk about our dreams. We do our life at home, and so I'm like, I remove myself from all of that, and it's taken me years to be able to do that because I lived with it all the same, and I was just always just exhausted. I didn't know how to like separate, to give myself a break from that.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to try and separate their work life from their home life or their personal life?
Separate it. Go to work, do your mahi, leave your mahi there, and go home and reconnect, disconnect, rest, and just be whoever you want to be behind closed doors.
You've been to some tough places mentally over the years. How dark did things get?
Oh, things have been dark many a times. I think the way that I am wired, I experience everything. My emotions are like ultimate. I'm such a passionate, emotional person. So if I'm scared, I'm scared. If I'm happy, I'm so happy. If I'm sad, I'm so sad. If I'm angry, I'm so angry. I don't have a middle ground of my feelings and my emotions. So when I go through something, it's like, it's been bad. It's been at the point, like I've hit rock bottom so many times, so many different seasons in my life where I've like hit rock bottom and I've lost everything. I went from like being so successful and having everything to having literally not even $1 in my account. I've hit rock bottom where I've wanted to take my life many a times. I've hit rock bottom where I've wanted to just give up many a times. And I've just felt like there's no purpose for me, there's no nothing. I've always found myself out of it. And that's honest to God, the grace of God, and just God putting people in my life when I'm falling, they catch me, So I've been very, very blessed to have those people in my life. Yeah, those people who have really lift me up and literally lift me up off the ground in places that I don't even know where I was and take me home.
And what have they said to you? What are the words that they've spoken into your life in those moments?
I don't even think it's words, it's just their presence. The amount of times that I've had my best mates sit in the room with me and I just don't even know what's happening. I'm just at rock bottom, and their presence, you don't have to talk. Just their presence with me is like the saving grace that I needed.
Because a lot of people think, well, I couldn't support someone in that position because I don't have the right words, or I'm not a mental health expert, but it's actually just showing up and being
showing up and not checking on you to show up, showing up.
Just doing it.
Just doing it. Because the thing is, if you're asking me at my rock bottom, oh, are you all good? I'm not going to tell you I'm all good. I'm going to tell you I'm great. I'm fine. And then I'm actually just a moment away of taking my life. You just need to show up. Sometimes that call of just like, even if you can't physically be there, calling up and just say, yo, we're up to being a distraction. And in that moment where you're like, can make a decision that could be bad, that distraction actually becomes hope. And then it actually delays that. And then you get yourself out of that sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's just showing up, and you don't even have to talk about the thing or the things or actually how are you. It's like opening up that door and coming to sit up on the couch and just putting Netflix on, or just bringing a feed and like talking about everything but that. But just there's that unspokenness, especially with me and my friends, that unspokenness is like, I got you, I'm here, we're going to eat, we're going to just lie there, I'm going to stay here tonight, pull the mattresses out, whatever. It's an unspokenness, but everything is said.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Totally. When I was in that dark place and I was experiencing suicidal thoughts, it's not that I wanted to die. I just wanted the pain to stop.
Yeah.
Can you relate to that?
Oh, fully. And I think I've been there many a times. I've just wanted to disappear from it. I didn't want that pain anymore. And I felt like at different times when I've been there is that I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be heard. I wanted to be loved. And also maybe it's better off if I'm gone.
What do you think about those thoughts now?
It's sad. I don't think those thoughts, but also I have to work on my life every single day. I have to work on my brain, my thoughts. And I know if I'm a moment away, I'm a person right next to me that will pull me back. And I'm very good at communicating my feelings, even if it takes a while for me to communicate it. When I do communicate, you know where I'm at.
So what's the first thing that you do when you feel your mind drifting to a place that you don't want to be?
I talk to my wife. My wife is my backbone, and I talk to my best friends. Like we have catch-ups, like even, I think 2 weeks ago, me and my bestest mate, we were just like sitting there, I was like, life is hard, eh, bro? He goes, gee, every day, get up. And it's like, here we go. Here we go. You know, we're fathers, we work full time, we travel for our mahi, we got 3 kids each. They have their sports, they have all their things that they go to, they got their after, all these different things. They're emotional, they're needy, they're wanting. We have to give the love, we have to give the time, we have to give the support. I'm the cook in the house, so I got to cook and do this, and we like all the cleaning. And it's like every single day is like surviving. And life is hard, even though we are very privileged. We're in a very privileged position. We don't have to worry about these things, but we worry about everything because at the way that we operate, our costs are a lot.
Yeah.
Financially, spiritually, mentally, and what we do and everything like that. They cost a lot, so we work a lot. We do a lot.
But you're not doing it alone. That's the key thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Stan, a few years ago, you were diagnosed with cancer. How did that experience change you?
I mean, became a different person. Physically, I didn't realize the struggles that I would have to go through. So my whole stomach came out, not just part of it, all of it. My esophagus is now connected to my bowel, and that's basically acting as a stomach. It's crazy what the body can do to overcompensate for like organs out. It's crazy. But now my body, it rejects things that it shouldn't go in there, which is a positive thing because it's like rejecting the stuff that your body shouldn't have in there.
Right.
But it was rejecting stuff that I love.
Like?
Cheese, dairy, oh gosh, like all the things. Yep. Dairy, so I couldn't eat so many foods that I would just eat every day without a thought. But I built up a tolerance because I need coffee and I love cheese, anything dairy, but can't eat ice cream. If I eat like just a lick too much of an ice cream, I'm going to feel sick. So these physical things are like, they suck, but you learn to deal with them.
Why have you decided to be so open and honest about everything that you've been through in life?
I feel like it's part of my purpose is to share my story and my testimony and the things that I've gone through, but also not what I've just overcome. It's what I'm still yet to overcome. You know, it's not like I'm there, I'm perfect, I've healed, I've never going to go through that again, because I know that there's a lot of people out there just like me that need to hear that.
Did you know what vulnerability was when you were growing up?
No, I don't think I did. I think I knew how to do it. I knew how the action of vulnerability or vulnerable. I still, like, it took me years to understand, like, these words. These weren't in our conversations. These weren't in our, like, vocab.
Yeah.
So, you know, anxiety, vulnerability, you know, you hear them, but you don't actually know what they mean.
How do you feel in your own masculinity?
Oh, I'm solid in who I am. Like, I got no qualms. I'm probably everything. I know that I'm not like this big staunch blooming rock dude, and I'm all good. I'm so comfortable in myself. I don't care. I don't care what people are always going to think all these different things, but I'm solid in who I am. And like, it's actually mean because when you become your like true self and unapologetic about who you are, then it's infectious to people, and they're like, damn, this whole time I've been put, because growing up the way that I did, you put up these walls, you try and be something that you're not, and you get bullied. I got bullied a lot for being not masculine enough in terms of the way that I might stand or walk or talk or whatever, and I'm just like, that doesn't, I don't know if that's even a word, it doesn't demand you as a man.
But our culture still says that men are tough, they're strong, they don't show vulnerability, they're not weak. Do you think those attitudes are still there?
Oh, they're fully still there. And that's the biggest full of shit thing I've ever heard. Because the men that I know deep down are the weakest. They're soft, they're hurting, they're mummy, they're like, that's the same as me. We've had to build up our resilience and then therefore build this like, oh, no, just like this. The way that we sit, the way that we walk, we got to walk like this. It is so stupid. When I look back at that stuff now, of me trying to be like that, I just, now that's I feel like an idiot. I should have just been myself, but I didn't know that back then. Yeah, but it's still there. I mean, we're progressing, but there's still a lot of places that don't live in a world or live in society or in communities where you have talks like this. It's still like, no, I'm all right.
What would you say to someone who feels trapped in negative patterns or beliefs or ways of thinking?
Oh gosh, there's so many things I could say, but like, it's small, but it is actually huge, and sometimes it feels like you can't do it, but just to change your mindset, even for the smallest things. Like, yes, I'm tired, I'm grumpy as hell, but like, man, today's going to be a good day. Speaking life over your day, speaking life over your situations, speaking life. You know that it's a shit day, it's a shit situation. Your life feels shit, but if you can speak life into it and be around people who are living that same thing, just speaking life into your situation, but also I love to be around people who are going in that same direction too. It's so good to be around positive people. If you're negative, get around positive people.
You've also been on a massive journey to reconnect with your whakapapa and te ao Māori. What impact has that had on your well-being?
I feel like every Māori at one point in your life, if you are not connected to your culture, connected to your whenua, there's going to be a yearning one day. And it may be when you're 70 years old, because I have seen it throughout generations, through children, me being a kid moving to Australia and yearning for my home, yearning for my whenua. I've seen it with my parents later on in life, after they were like, no, Māori's going to get you nowhere, don't do that. So it's played one of the most significant roles in my life in terms of like, it's enhanced and it's grown and it's like being the final piece to the puzzle of my purpose and having the impact that I have today in this world and whatever I do. It's been the reason why I'm able to reach to the world. It's not because I stuck to the pop music that my label in Australia wanted me to do. That didn't get me to the world. It was me being authentically Māori and being able to live in a creative way through my music, the reclamation of my culture, of my whakapapa, of my reo. It has played the hugest part.
So actually, foregoing a lot of the commercial success that you thought that you'd have and pursuing your values and your cultural identity has kind of come full circle, right?
Yes.
Because it's then led you back to that kind of commercial success.
Oh, bro, it's been like, and it wasn't even something that it wasn't a thing to try and do that so I could be more commercial. I'm like at the most content place in my life. If it was all to fall over tomorrow, I'm all good.
That's awesome.
I love just doing what I'm doing here. We've got our businesses, we do what I do, and I can just sing in Aotearoa for the rest of my life. But no, it's for such a time as this. I've been called to sing to the world now and tour the world, and it's because of me being Māori and me being unapologetically Māori, being able to sing in my native tongue is the thing that is connecting me to the world.
What are your daily or weekly routines that keep you grounded?
It's waking up for my kids when they jump in the bed, and it's breakfast every morning. It's getting them changed. It's telling them to shush because our niece lives with us and she's still asleep, and getting them off to school and making sure we pray every morning and pray every night with our kids. And we read with them. I'm not the best reader, so my wife takes care of that. And just implementing those things that me and my wife never had. Those are the most grounding things. My kids are the most humbling, grounding things ever, because I could have flown in from Hawaii to LA to Vegas to LA back home, and I get off and it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I haven't slept and I've been on all those flights. I get home, my kids do not care. They're just like, Papa, you're home. We need cuddles, we need breakfast, you need to change my ass, I need to get ready for school. They do not care. So that is the most humbling and grounding thing anyone is ever going to get. And it's the best, because even though I'm like exhausted, it is the most fulfilling thing ever. So it's a beautifully, humbling, grounding thing.
I've heard that you've got into running. Is that true?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Running's been a big positive change for my life, and not just for my life, but like my wife's been a runner for years. Running keeps me healthy, it keeps me active, it keeps my mind a lot more peaceful than it has been, because I don't like training, I don't go to the gym, I'm so unhealthy, but it's like my kids give me so much more purpose. You know, there's saying like, I'll die for my kids, and I will die for my kids. I will die, but I want to live for them and I want to live long. And running's been the biggest step into that, living longer for my kids.
If you could send a message to your younger self, what would you say?
Things are not your fault. Everything that makes you different, embrace it, because it's going to take you to the world. Be proud of who you are. Be staunch. Love more, forgive more, and be outrageous.
Stan, thanks so much for talking to us today. It's been awesome.
Thanks for having me. Haven't had a talk like this for a while.
It's been great to have you here.
Shop, bro. Thank you.
Cheers, man.